I'm VJ Hamilton and welcome to the Autoimmune RESET, the place for you to learn how to thrive with autoimmune disease and feel empowered to take steps to transform your health to feel better than ever. You can start making changes today to improve your health. So with every episode, my mission is to share with you simple ways to up-level your diet and lifestyle with key learnings from my own journey reversing autoimmune disease and inspirational stories from those who have reset their autoimmune symptoms and are now thriving in life. I suffered from autoimmune disease for over 25 years and now I live symptom-free, and I wish the same for you as well. So thank you for being here and sharing this time with me. Now let's get started. Hello and welcome to today's Friday 5 episode, where I am going to be sharing with you my favourite cookbooks for healthy eating with autoimmune disease. And each book I'm recommending has a little bit of a story into my own health journey and people who I have met along the way and have helped me in being able to reverse all my autoimmune symptoms. So some of these books are not new, but they are books that I have used in order to improve my health, and I hope that you will find them helpful as well. I'm not specifically focused on cookbooks for autoimmune disease, as in for the autoimmune paleo protocol, and I may do another episode on that, and I'm very excited that we have Jamie Hartman on the podcast in the next couple of months. I might do a separate episode on that, so just watch out for that. But for the meantime, I want to share with you my favourite healthy eating cookbooks which will help you with your autoimmune symptoms as well. So let's get started. The first book I am recommending for you today is Eat Well With Arthritis by Emily Johnson. And I have helped Emily with both her books. I just want you to know that, but I don't have any financial gain from those books in any way. But I did help Emily with some of the recipes and I reviewed her books for her. But they are such fantastic books, and I particularly like her newest book, Eat Well With Arthritis. It's an absolutely beautiful book as well. Emily shares lots of healthy recipes in her book, and she also shares a meal plan. If you haven't come across Emily before, she is also going to be on the podcast, which I'm very excited about in the coming months. But Emily is under the brand Arthritis Foodie, and Emily experienced arthritis when she was very young. I mean, she still is young, but I suppose arthritis is often seen as an older person's condition. I don't think that is as much anymore, and that's probably because of the work that Emily has been doing. But you know, she has been able to live pretty much symptom free, obviously having flares occasionally, but she also advocates for using medication, but obviously healthy eating at the same time. And that's how her book can help. There's some delicious recipes in there. And as I said, there's some meal plans as well. So if you don't have Emily's book, Eat Well With Arthritis, I certainly recommend it. I don't think you need to actually have arthritis to enjoy this book, and you may see as we are talking about these different cookbooks how some of them are for particular conditions, but actually you can use the recipes just as part of a healthy eating plan as well. So if you don't have Eat Well With Arthritis, I recommend it. It's a beautiful book. The recipes are simple, straightforward, and also there is a meal plan there that you can follow. And again, I feel that Emily has made it very practical and simple for people with the recipes and the ideas and the meal plan. Emily came into my life, gosh, I can't remember now. Maybe it was about 5 years ago when she was starting to write her first book. She contacted the college that I trained at and we started working together after that. So I'm sure there will be more collaborations with Emily along the way because I just absolutely love all the work that she's doing. The next book I want to recommend is The Fertility Kitchen by Charlotte Grand. And again, I know Charlotte because we trained together at the Institute for Optimum Nutrition, which is often referred to as ION. That's where we both trained to become nutritional therapists. And I have kept in touch with Charlotte since I became a nutritionist. And we've only seen each other a handful of times, but we're in contact pretty often, and I was in contact with her regularly when she was creating this book. I am sure people see the Fertility Kitchen up in my kitchen and wonder why I have this book, because I am not following the recipes for fertility, but actually Charlotte is coming from very much a functional medicine perspective in her recipes. Again, Charlotte has some meal plans in there. So the recipes are simple, they're nutritious and nutrient dense. And there's some really interesting information in the book, especially if you are looking to improve your fertility or improve your hormone health. There's some great information in there. There's also just some great information if you are looking to improve your autoimmune symptoms and your autoimmune health as well. So if you don't have that book, I certainly recommend it. And again, it's a beautiful book. It has lots of amazing photographs in it, and there is some recommendations for lifestyle practices as well as lots of delicious recipes. So that is a book I certainly recommend. The next book is Salad Love by David Bez. So many years ago, when I was working for the National Basketball Association, I was based around Covent Garden in London, and I was lucky to have David Bez's restaurant at the time, or it was probably more of a cafe at the time, very close by, and I would go there every day and buy my lunch. And I was very lucky because I was making changes for my health at that point, and I was starting to see some improvements, but I didn't have much time and I needed convenience. And that's when I discovered David's restaurant, and I was so happy to discover it. And he actually came and did a presentation for us at the National Basketball Association. They are just delicious, simple recipes for salads in this book, and that is probably going to be especially nice as we are going into spring and summer. And I will recommend this book to clients because there are just so many different simple recipes for salads. I think it's so easy to get in a set routine when it comes to eating salads and just having the same types of vegetables or fruits in your salad. Whereas I think if you buy Salad Love, his restaurant was actually called Salad Pride. If you buy Salad Love, you are going to find lots of recipes in there. And what I like to do is I like to add a protein with those salads. And that's often the type of advice that I would give a client if I feel like they need to include more colour and more vegetables in their diet. But I just have obviously a special place in my heart for this book and David in particular, because it was almost at the start of me feeling better, and I was just so grateful to have this healthy, delicious food on the doorstep of where I was working. And I'm just grateful that I had that and that it helped me in the long run. And I still have his book, I still use it today. So if you don't have Salad Love, then certainly have a look into that, because as I said, it's just full of fresh, wholesome ingredients. And I find that David really encourages you to embrace the beauty of seasonal produce and experiment with different flavours and textures. So if you haven't got that book, then I certainly recommend it. Have a look into it and let me know what you think. And then I couldn't not mention the Functional Nutrition Cookbook by Christine Bailey, because Christine Bailey was the nutritionist that I first worked with when I was making these fundamental changes to my health and lifestyle. And I will always appreciate Christine for helping me with this. And I bought her book. She was also advising me on specific things to eat and specific things to do to help with my health. And she introduced me to a lot of the functional testing, which I use in my clinic today. But I found that this functional cookbook has a lot of information in it, actually. So it's not just a cookbook. It will go through different systems and the different things that you can eat, for example, for your gut health. But she provides such simple, delicious recipes. And I went to see Christine initially at ION, and she was doing a presentation on Eat to Beat Cancer, because my friend at the time had cancer. I wasn't a nutritionist at the time, but I was studying and I wanted to learn more to help my friend. And I was just blown away by Christine's knowledge. That's why I started working with her as she was my nutritionist at the time. I just love her recipes. I love this book for the simplicity of the recipes, and it was where I got started really with cooking, because I hadn't been cooking for a long time, and then I met Christine and she encouraged me to start doing some simple baking and making some simple recipes, and she just makes everything so easy and informative, so you know exactly why you are adding certain ingredients and how that is going to benefit you. So if you haven't come across the Functional Nutrition Cookbook, then that is another book that I certainly recommend. And again, there is an emphasis on functional medicine and a root cause approach to your health, which I love as well. And then last but not least, this was very difficult because I wanted to include a cookbook that was specifically around the autoimmune paleo protocol, and because it's a slightly different type of book, I have decided to recommend the Autoimmune Protocol Meal Prep Cookbook, which is by Sophie van Tichelen. So I hope I pronounced that right. And the reason that I love this book is that it's not only a book that's focused on delicious, nutrient-dense, autoimmune-friendly food, but it goes through the process of meal prep. And meal prep, again, completely changed my life, especially when I was working long days in a corporate office and I didn't have much time to make my lunches. When I started discovering meal prep and I was doing things in batches, it made my life so much easier, and it meant that I could eat healthy, delicious food all the time, and it was convenient for me as well. And that's what this book helps you with, the Autoimmune Protocol Meal Prep Cookbook. It provides lots of different recipes for you to be able to prepare in bulk, and they're really delicious and nutritious as well, which is why I love that book. So if you don't have that book, which I don't think a lot of people have that one when it comes to the Autoimmune Paleo Protocol, I certainly recommend it. And even if you're not following that protocol, it's still a great book because it is still including lots of delicious foods that you can eat and very nutrient dense foods as well. So just because there is a book has a specific title, it's a bit like my brand actually, the Autoimmunity Nutritionist. I work specifically with people with autoimmune disease, but I also work with people who have gut issues and who have inflammation and who have hormone imbalances. And that's the thing, that these systems are so interconnected that you can buy a cookbook on fertility and it's going to be helpful for you whether you are looking at enhancing your fertility or not. These are the 5 cookbooks that I would like to recommend to you. Have a look at them over the weekend, decide which one might be right for you, and I would love to hear what you think about them. If you enjoy them, please let me know. You can pop over to my Instagram account, which is at the Autoimmunity Nutritionist, and you can let me know there by sending me a message. And just so you know that next week I have a exciting workshop on nutrition essentials for joint health. That's going to be at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, the 24th of April, and that's in British summertime. So if you'd like to join, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. I would love to see you there. The first part of the workshop is a presentation going through some of the root causes of joint issue, and I'm going to be sharing some foods that can be helpful for your joint health. And then we open it up to a Q&A where it's going to be a completely safe space. It's not recorded. You can ask any questions in that Q&A that you have around joint health or any autoimmune joint conditions. We had an event last month on nutrition essentials for autoimmune disease, and I just loved the Q&A part of it because everybody was able to share their experiences and ask questions. So I look forward to hearing from you. If not, have a fantastic weekend and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Thank you very much for joining me today on the Autoimmune Reset. I really hope you enjoyed the discussion, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. And if you liked it, I would hugely appreciate a review on iTunes, as it helps me understand what you like about the podcast and to help share the information with more people. I'm excited to speak to you next time, and remember, you have the power to take the reins on your health. So keep the faith and celebrate the small wins. Until next time.